All right, team, we're at week 4 already. So we are moving into multiplying algebraic terms now. All right, so let's look at our key ideas that we are focusing on this week. So an algebraic term can be written in expanded form where the multiplication signs are shown, okay, like on the left-hand side here, or in simplified form where the multiplication signs are left out, so just here on the right. All right, we've a little bit covered this previously, so you might already be somewhat familiar with this, but we're just going to really make sure that we've got it down pat. Okay, the product of any pronumerals that are the same, okay, so it's saying if you've got the product of the same pronumerals like this, so this is the product, which is multiplication of the same pronumerals, so that's A's, we're talking all A's, okay, so if we've got A times A times A, we can write that as A to the power of 3. Okay, so A times A times A is equal to the same as A to the power of 3. That's what it's showing. That's how we can simplify it. Okay, so that's using index notation. Index notation. So this is index notation here. All right. When multiplying algebraic terms, multiply the numbers, okay, so the numbers or the coefficients. So that would be this part here, that's the coefficient first, and simplify the products of any pronumerals that are the same, all right? It's probably a little bit like, Miss Monroe, what are you talking about? Relax, we'll do some examples and it'll make sense in a minute. The final simplified term is written with the number or coefficient, so this part, first, and the pronumerals in alphabetical order. The index laws apply to pronumerals in the same way as they do numbers. Okay, so we'll focus a little bit more and we'll have a look at the index laws in a minute. To multiply terms in index form with the same base, write the base and add the indices. So the base, for example, would be this A and this A, okay? And what it's saying is that if we've got A to the power of 5 multiplied by A to the power of 3, we can simply put the base down, being the A, and then we can add, okay, the indices or the powers. So we can just add 5 and 3 to get 8, and it becomes A to the power of 8. But we'll go through this a little bit more. Okay, so let's have a quick look at our start thinking. So remember, this part of the chapter is all about multiplying algebraic terms. Okay, during a sale, a store offers DVDs for $15 each. How much does it cost to buy 2 DVDs or 7 DVDs? Okay, so if you think about it, when I'm doing this, I'm just using multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to make D the number, so number, that's my shorthand for number of DVDs. Okay, I am going to say, well, I know that my DVDs each cost $15. Okay, so if I buy 1 DVD, it's going to be $15. So if I bought 2 DVDs, it's going to be 2 times 15. If I bought 3 DVDs, it would be 3 times 15. Okay, so if I want to write this algebraically for any number of DVDs that I buy, okay, it will be $15 multiplied by the number of DVDs that I buy. And I'm going to use, remember, D to show that. Okay, so that's my algebraic expression. Now I can simplify, remember, this down to 15D. So I take away the little multiplication sign because this represents the same thing. Okay, that's the simplified version. So I used multiplication, okay? because it is a multiple of, like I've got one DVD, or I've got two DVDs, or I've got three DVDs. Okay, so multiplication is the operation that I'm going to use. So they have actually used K. Okay, but I'm going to stick with my D because I think that makes a lot of sense that for the number of DVDs. How much would it cost to buy D number of DVDs? Okay, so that's this part. Okay, it's going to cost me 15 times however many DVDs I buy. All right, so we've already done all of question 1. We jumped straight ahead. Okay, now we're going to talk about question, oh, need my lasso, not my pen. We're going to talk about question 2. So before the sale, the price varied. So each DVD was a different price. If the price for each DVD was P dollars, okay, how much would it cost to buy 2 DVDs? Okay, so now we've got P as a variable, and that is the dollar amount for each DVD. So if I bought 2 DVDs, okay, it would be 2 times P, okay, be 2 times however much they cost. All right, and I can simplify that down to 2p. If I bought 7 DVDs, okay, so it would be 7 times the price, okay, which I can simplify down to 7p. Now, this one's a little bit trickier. If I was going to buy K number of DVDs, okay, so instead of having a 2 or a 7, because I know the amount, I now have K, okay? What I can do is I can actually go K for however many DVDs I buy multiplied by the price of the DVD. So I have K times P. So I have two pronumerals multiplying against each other. And I can simplify that down to KP. Okay, so that's the same as this. It's K times P equals KP. All right. Little bit to get your head around having 2 variables in one expression multiplied by each other, but stick with me here. Okay, let's skip into a question to get started with this, because I think you need to see it a bit before it will start to make sense. Okay. So let's look at this example question. So I've got, I need to write these in expanded form. So I've got 8 A, B, C. Okay. Now in expanded form, okay, it's 8 multiplied by A multiplied by B multiplied by C. Okay. So this is part of that invisible maths where there's a little imaginary multiplication sign in there. But when we simplify it, we can pull it out and just sit them side by side like that. So this expression here expands out to this. All right, this next one, B, is a little bit trickier because we've got m to the power of 2 in here. Okay, this might be a little bit tricky to get your head around, but stick with me here. Okay, we just need to break it up into its individual parts in here. So I have, so it's minus 5 m squared n. Okay, so I have my minus 5 times my m squared times my n. Okay, so we know how to do that part. That's the easy part. Now, the next part that you need to know is that you can expand this out even further, because we know that our m squared is equal to m times m. Okay, so if we have to fully expand this out. So this then becomes the minus 5 times, and instead of writing m squared, we need to write out the full m times m, and then we multiply it by the n on the end. Okay, so remember that we first can start by breaking it apart into its 3 chunks. Then you need to chunk up this m squared into the m times m. All right, let's look at our last one. So we've got 2x y to the power of 3z. Notice it's in alphabetical order. So I know that I have 4 parts here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I break it up. I've got 2 times my x times my y to the power of 3, if you want to add that step in, times by z. Okay, remember this expands out to y times y times y. Y to the power of 3 is y times y times y. So I rewrite it again and I've got 2 times x times, and I'm not going to write my y to the power of 3, I'm going to write out this full expanded form of y times y times y, then multiplied by z on the end. Okay, gonna leave it there. I will see you in the next video. Okay, so take a breather and we'll come back in the next video with the questions.